here on Tanguy de la Motte's Initiatives-Couer. It's an older Lombard design. You can see this thing is a couple generations old. Definitely one of the smaller budget campaigns here in the Vendee. Everything is set up pretty similar, but just a little bit different. There's definitely been a lot of evolution in the last 2 generations. You know, really in the last 8 or 9 years. So you can see this is a traditional mast, not a rotating wing mast. None of the deck spreaders, just a traditional, pretty simple 2-spreader carbon rig. But everything is still pretty much very similar. You've got all the furlers in the same places. See the winch on the mast there. Not a lot of boats have had winches on the mast. I've only seen about 3 boats with winches on the mast, and in fact this boat does have 2 winches on the mast. So the first boat in the fleet that I've seen that has 2 winches on the mast, as well as a jammer right here, a jammer right there, and another one right here. So that's a kind of an interesting thing to point out. This is the first boat I've seen that had multiple winches and multiple rope clutches on the mast. One of the biggest things is just deck design. You see the bigger, kind of more sleek, longer housetop. Definitely a different setup. You'll also notice right here, almost every boat in the fleet has floating jib leads. This boat is not using the horizontal floating jib lead system that you see on almost every other new boat in the fleet. You see a lot of ferrules and everything. That's obviously a big trend, but you do see this is a very kind of old school traditional setup where everything is just coming back to both sides of the cabin top and then go into rope clutches over to here. And what you'll notice right here is this is kind of like a center cockpit boat, pretty small cockpit, but there is almost like an aft cabin. It's more of a storage area. You see that right there. You just open it up and you can get access back to the hatch on the transom. And one thing that you will notice right off the bat on Initiatives-Couer is you'll notice all of the theme of hearts. And you see the hearts all over the boat. And what Tanguy and this nonprofit Couer, what they're doing is actually really cool. Every time that Tanguy races his boat, they're raising money to bring a child from a third world country over to France and provide them with necessary life-saving heart surgery. So literally every time Tanguy races across an ocean, he is saving a child's life by providing them with the surgery that they need to stay alive. And in this race, they will be hopefully raising 80,000 euros, which they'll be able to save the lives of 12 children. And they've already saved like 18 children just in the last several years, working with Tanguy and also with Catherine Chabot. It's definitely a really good cause here within the Vendee fleet to do to sail and to race, but for a good cause. It's going to help a lot of people. Checking out the inside of Initiatives-Couer, you can see the shore crew is hard at work making final preparations for Tanguy's boat, getting everything ready so he can do all of his navigation. You see all of his gear, relatively older. Very simple layout. One thing that's really interesting on the inside is you see all the children's drawings, and that has to do with the nonprofit Couer, which they're working with, and like we mentioned, working to save lives of children who need heart surgery. So you see this is definitely very unique. You definitely see a huge difference between the newer boats and the older boats. You can see a water maker right there.